BC, it's Wednesday, and it's Dereck, and I'm on deck, as Sekapunk says. By the way, I want to shout out to Sekapunk Ben. I want to congratulate you. You're about to get married, or going to Mexico. Maybe you're in Mexico now getting married. Congratulations, brother man. Congratulations. I'm listening to Atoms for Peace, Default. Don't have the album yet. I do want it. I like this. I like what Tom York is into. I do. I like sonically where he's working. I like the sounds that he likes. I want to shout out to two people right quick. First one is, welcome back, Crap It Out James from Manchester. I'll let James speak for himself. He's been gone for a while. He let me know he's back. James is someone who feels like a real friend. I've never met him. You feel like a real friend, James. I'm glad you're back. Someone else I heard from yesterday, who I don't know if he's back to making videos, but I heard from another OG, y'all. Long Lost LP Man is back on scene. Long Lost LP Man is one of the original, to me, he's one of the original people that sparked me to become involved in what is considered the vinyl community. You know, when I think of vinyl community as far as, you know, is there some sort of, who would be the, I gotta do this. If I were to think of who were the foundation people of the vinyl community, in my mind, they are Mr. Hall of Fame, Nathan Morales, Long Lost LP Man, Dan from Canada, Spellerine, I just lost it. I had it. Collector of Music. There's a few more. But so Long Lost LP Man, glad to hear from you, man. Real glad that you're around. Blue ECM is someone who left us a long time ago and I guess is never coming back. Same as with Robert Ye and some of the other early folks who I just loved them. But life goes on. Brett Helm has a his Friday night video started a thread which I want to respond to, but not this morning. Great second albums. It's a good idea. I enjoyed your video, but I want to keep going with just what's going on with me, you know. And I may make another video today, Brett. If you watch this, I may respond to your video today. But I see that Secret Flowers made a video, and I'm so glad that you are still with us, Anthony. You are another person whose record collection stuns me. You found a grail, something I cannot find. You found that Slap Happy album. That's a grail. Sometimes when people ask in questions, what is your real grail? What are you really looking for? My head goes blank. But that's one of them. That's something I'd love. Wow, you found a copy of that first Slap Happy album. Amazing, amazing. But as I'm waiting, I'm in a, literally, what's happening is I'm waiting. I'm doing other things, but ultimately, my whole being is in waiting for my fucking record, okay? Just to be honest. So, Christian Farbentino, if you happen to watch this video, I haven't stopped working on our collaboration, but I'm not working right now because I'm ready for my record to drop. I'm ready for it to be here. So that's got a lot to do with where I'm at right now. Waiting. So I've been playing records, puttering around the house, doing some things. I got a gig this weekend with Tatsuo Nakatani. Let me see if I can. Yeah. One of the other wonderful things that's coming about as a result of being an artist in residence with the Bemis Contemporary Art Museum is opportunities are being presented to me merely by being the artist in residence. And so one is that they contacted me and said, Tatsuo Nakatani, excuse me, who was a Japanese percussionist, amazing, is bringing his gong orchestra to Omaha. He's been here a few times. And the way that Nakatani works is when he does the gong orchestra, he makes his own gongs and cymbals. And he'll recruit local artists and musicians to be members of the orchestra in each city that he plays in. So the Beavis contacted me and said, "You want to be one of the people in the orchestra?" Hell yes. So I get to attend a workshop with him this weekend, and then I participate in the performance. I don't know exactly what I was talking about that got me to that, but I just wanted to share that that's what's going on. But I've been listening to my record collection. I've still been kind of looking up the value of things and still finding some interesting information. So I just want to show you what I've been listening to and what I've been looking at. Played this last night. This is a perfect example of the record cover has nothing to do with selling the record. That is a horrid picture of Elvin Jones, and at the same time it's a wonderful picture of Elvin Jones. Look at that joyous human being. This is a fantastic album. Elvin Jones is on the mountain. PM Perla Music, I think, is the label. I believe that John Coltrane 68 has all of these. If you can find any of these, they're all worth it. I've just got a few. Jan Hammer and Gene Perla. This album is fantastic. Matter of fact, the song On the Mountain is almost guaranteed when I play it to put me in a good mood. If I'm not in a good mood, it'll do it. This is almost over. I'll put this on in a second. Completely unrelated to that though, last night, before I went to bed, I got in the mood. I'm gonna switch. Okay. Switch. I do like this Atoms for Peace. If you happen to be watching, Jen, I want to say hello, Jen, in Holland. I haven't said hey in a while. Hope you're doing all right. But I'm going to put this, one of my favorite songs up on this song. The sun is right now shining almost directly into my window. Like this, my house faces east, so I have to shut the blinds. Okay, let me get this. Oh, this is so good. Already, everything is better already. Wonderful music, everything's fine. And then Elvin's on the drums. The power of music and good coffee. So this is just a fantastic album, Elvin Jones, On the Mountain. Don't let the cover scare you. Okay, so last night before I went to bed, I just decided to play this Tool, Lateralus. This is the picture disc, and generally picture discs are to look at, not to play, but this plays really well. And 3 of the 4 sides of this I really like, and last night it really went down well. Matter of fact, I had the stereo up loud because it sounds good loud. It sounded so good that it caused me to put this on, to pull this and play this. Tool's 10,000 Days. And the reason is because when I bought this, I was unimpressed. And every time that I've gone back to it, it's been a flat response. My response has been flat. It's like, but last night I could see the progression. It's a slight progression. At first it sounded like they were just repeating themselves on this. There's a progression. Not much of one, not that there has to be, but it's like, yeah, there's forward movement. There was a reason to make this album. At first I couldn't hear it. This went down well last night. just rediscovering your collection, that ought to be a thread, you know. Or if you want to pick up on this, folks, do it. What are you discovering? What are you rediscovering in your own collection? Because that's what I'm doing, since I really can't afford to buy, and I've got plenty to rediscover. And here's one, Dysrhythmia. Now, when I bought this record, I bought it because of Jacko Jaksic, this cat right here. I became aware of him through following the work of Steve Jansen and Richard Barbieri, originally of the band Japan, Barbieri now in Porcupine Tree. And Jacko Jaksic has done work with them. And I just follow those guys because they're top notch. It didn't register to me at first who the drummer was. Now, I knew that Danny Thompson, the bass player who's played with everyone from Fairport Convention to David Sylvian, and the classically trained Indian musician Pandit Dinesh. I recognized all those names, but the person that didn't come in is Gavin Harrison. Gavin Harrison, the drummer for Porcupine Tree. He produced this. This is apparently his band, which I didn't make the connection at first. This album is nice. It's really good. My honest opinion is it needed another element. They left a lot of openness so you can hear all the percussion and stuff, is what I think. But I don't think that's enough to sustain this album. It's good. Not quite there, but that was interesting. It was like, oh, Gavin Harrison, duh. Here's another record I've been meaning to get back to and play, and I'm glad I did. James Newton Howard. His name may be familiar to some of you because he is a renowned soundtrack composer. He's composed many blockbuster film soundtracks. This is an album that is on Kama Sutra. This goes back to, hold on. Oops. 1974 is when this came out. This is one that you still see in the used bins. I think you do see this record for nothing, and it looks like nothing, but this is wonderful. People that like Jean-Michel Jarre, Vangelis, he doesn't sound like him, but it's in that vein. It's proggy and it's soundtracky at the same time. Now, this is quite a work of art because, as he explains in the notes here, when he made this album, his synthesizers were monophonic, which means he could only play one note at a time. So he had to create this symphony on here, one note at a time. When you think about that, when you hear this and you think about that, it took him 3 years to make this album. This is really good. Kama Sutra, this is real good. Once again, if you see this, just don't be passing this up. Let me take a minute to respond to a comment I got yesterday from someone from, I think, Rio. And the person asked me about Elvis. Do I listen to Elvis? I wrote him a response, but I'll take this chance to moment to, it is not bashing, it's explaining. I want to explain that as a music obsessive since I was a baby, I mean literally, my parents said before I could walk, I rocked in time to the records they played, especially Chuck Berry and Elvis and the Everly Brothers, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, as I've gone through my years as a kid, I've absorbed all the greats. I know that music like the back of my hand. Elvis, the Beatles, Chuck Berry, Fats Domino, Bo Diddley, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the Dave Clark Five, Motown, James Brown. I know that music. I mean, when I was a kid, because of my nature, that's what I did. I listened to the radio and records all the time. You know, I hid away from this cruel motherfucking world, okay? And so I know that music. Do I have any Elvis? I got some Elvis 45s. But that's why you don't see me talking about a lot of the considered the greats, the classics, because I've heard it so much and you still hear it so much, it's unavoidable. Why would I bother to play that music, you know? It's not a bash, it's that the music is ubiquitous. I don't need to play it. Okay? I think that's a pretty good answer, all right? And there was no bash, it's just the music is so common. It's like, there's a lot of music I want to hear, you know, and who needs to listen to Elvis? That wasn't a bash, was it? Haven't played this yet, but I pulled it. Peter Ivers Band. He had New Wave Theater, another TV show that was groundbreaking and really informative in the 80s. He was murdered, I think, by someone in the audience. But this is a strange album that he made with Yolanda Bavan. Night of the Blue Communion. This has a strange electronic blues cross like this. Not wholly successful, but unusual. This is something to if you see this, have a listen. Pulled this, I haven't played it yet, Clouds. The organist in this band, it has been documented that this Billy Ritchie was the original English wild man on the organ, and this is where Keith Emerson got his inspiration to do the organ thing he did with the knife, with the rock and the organ and stabbing it with swords and stuff. He got all that from this guy. Clouds, Billy Ritchie. Just a little bit of background. This is a neat album. Three-pieced, keyboard-based band. This is another one of those, to me, English rock classics in ways that just, again, got overlooked. This album's really neat. The vocals, at times, are not as strong as the music. This is real good. Clouds, Watercolor Days. This caught my attention while I was pulling. I've also kind of shifted my record. Some of you folks that are good at spotting spines may notice that the spines are in a different now if you look. Maybe you can't see because of the sun now, but some of you will notice in some of my older videos, if you look, where my gong spines used to be, they've moved. It's a lot of work. But anyway, I pulled this 12-inch single by Spacetime Continuum. It's the only thing on vinyl I have by Spacetime Continuum. Love this stuff. Cario Vertigo Movement Number 2. Love this stuff. I'm not sure who Spacetime Continuum is, because these are usually just pseudonyms or just aliases for a producer. This is really good. Makes me think of Secret Flowers. I know you got some Spacetime Continuum. Clubfoot. Subterranean Records, San Francisco. Legendary scene, legendary label. Mike Fox, who was in Code of Honor, signed this for me. He's a friend. I don't know if he's still alive, but he had to escape California because of heroin. He came to Omaha. We became very good friends, and anyway, he produced and recorded most of these tracks. Bay of Pigs, Longshoremen, Altar Boys, Clubfoot Orchestra. This is way cool. Haven't played this yet, but this was another one of those uncommon records I have that I was thinking, is this something unusual and of interest? So far, it doesn't seem to be. Haven't played it to re-listen to the music, but looking it up online, there's nothing unusual or of interest that I could find about this record. This one, I looked up some more, and I did discover one of the reasons why this is collectible. Swift Rain, Coming Down. I played this yesterday too, and this is good. Once again, a quick look at the record gives me the impression that I'm probably going to hear something kind of okie dokie, or maybe a little bit country or a little bit folky. That is there, but this is also an interesting hybrid hard rock album as well. Now the thing that really makes it Real collectible right away that I had to look at the record to realize it's on the High label. High Records is known for Al Green, Willie Mitchell, soul music. What's this rock album doing on High? So that must be one of the collectible aspects of this record. I'm seeing my video is way longer than I wanted it to be. Man. Part of the reason why I don't like it is because I keep saying I have to wait so long for the damn thing to upload. And if I use the computer while it's uploading, it crashes. It's bullshit. A couple more records though. Haven't played these yet, and generally when I play them I don't really like them that much, but I'm thinking I haven't heard it in the right moment. Definitely part of my collection as part of my Porcupine Tree Stephen Wilson collection, Blackfield. I was looking this up and these go for big money. This is an original on God something. And I'm gonna have to get a magnifying glass so I can see this print anymore. Gates of Dawn. It's on the Gates of Dawn label. Generally what I find is that I like the music on some of these songs, but I don't like the vocals. But I have to come back to it. I also have this album by Blackfield. Stephen Wilson with this cat from Israel. Aviv, I forget his last name, Geffen maybe? Now here's one that I looked up and discovered this is hard to find, and this goes for big money. And there's an aspect to it that I didn't realize. Jonathan Round. Die cut on the Westbound label. The label that brought us Funkadelic. Of interest here and of collectability is his version of Sympathy for the Devil by the Stones. The way it's written is it's written that this is the possibly the scariest version of Sympathy for the Devil that you'll ever hear. I played it last night. I don't like it. I'll agree. It sounds crazy. The man sounds crazy doing the song. Generally speaking, this has too much of a gospel-y, bluesy feel for me to really enjoy it. I just don't like that feeling from music. But this is hard to find. It's got a die-cut cover, as you can see, round. My copy is promotional, and it's on the Westbound label. You don't see many records on this label, other than Funkadelic. I was found a couple copies of this for sale for 80, 90 bucks. That's just fun to know. So, another fun information, and then I'll stop with these. I just got a few more. Listen to Mary Hopkin yesterday. She was on the Beatles Apple label, and I really enjoyed this, and I kept noticing while listening, I said, oh, I've heard this song. Turns out she does a couple of Ralph McTell songs on here. I really like the songs of Ralph McTell. Played this yesterday, Resurrection. My cover is beat, but this is collectible. Bluesy kind of hard rock band that used to do the West Coast scene quite a bit, play with the Dead and stuff. Pretty good, actually. And then I listened to this yesterday, solo piano, John Avery from Hula. Very nice. We're over 20 minutes. I gotta stop here, folks. I'm almost at 3,000 subscribers. Amazing, amazing.